Hey guys, this is Dave with Moniology. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is Monday, September 11th, 2017, and this is a biotech sector review with top picks in the sector. Today is September 11th, and it marks the 16th year anniversary of the tragedy, the terror attacks that happened on September 11th. And just want to take a moment of silence and think about all the victims who suffered and lost as a result of this terrible attack. Okay, well, on to something far less meaningful. We're going to look at some of the top picks in the sector. Now, these picks are viewed from a weekly standpoint, and what that attempts to do is to remove a lot of the noise that's found on the hourly and daily charts. And for those of you who ask for targets, we typically we have targets here, but what is very important is to be able to ride momentum. And what that means is you ride the wave upon a breakout that you've tagged, and then you set stop losses and trailing stop losses and let the wave ride higher. But know your own strategy, know your style, and trade according to your strengths. Anyway, so the first on this list is VERM Biotechnologies, ADVM. What we like here is it has multi-year highs on the MACDs. First and foremost, it's had frankly a 2-year base, and even though the price has been below that the middle Bollinger Band, it's approaching the upper edge of the top Bollinger Band. MACDs RSI is breaking out much higher, and that's very positive divergence, and we think that this is on the verge of a major breakout. First stop is the 50 EMA of 341. Ultimately, we think that this is headed to test 5, and if it breaks this 50 EMA and takes and makes a run towards 5, expect a pullback here, followed by new move higher. So there's some significant upside potential in VERM Biotech. Next on the list is ARLZ AEZS. This is a beautiful basing pattern here we had for several months, followed by a big move, followed by consolidation in this bullish flag formation above the middle Bollinger Band. Now we're starting to see a little bit of uptick. We're above the 50 on the weekly RSI, so no surprise that once that 50 was crossed was the week that we were having a pretty big move so far. But ultimately, we think that this is going to make a run for that $3 level in the coming weeks, possibly as early as this week. And if that level breaks, which also coincides with that 50 EMA around 309, this has some significant and substantial upside. Don't have a target, but I would say short-term traders, $2 for a run towards 3 is pretty nice gains. Longer-term traders, should this break the 50 EMA, we're talking 625, 1250, possibly much higher down the road. IV Genomic Medicine, GNMX, basing basically throughout 2017, but now MACDs are firmly above 0 and frankly getting set to set their multi-year highs, and that's again one of the things we look at. RSI is starting to build, but we're having trouble breaking above that 38 marker, which is very important. We're right below the middle Bollinger Band, so not yet a buy, but definitely if this were to break that upper Bollinger Band of around 150, $2 would be next in line, and then followed by 3. There's a huge gap fill area here, so whatever happened with the company that caused it to drop from here to here looks like maybe reversing course. So stay tuned. Affirm Therapeutics, AFMD. This is one that's very interesting. We've got this basing pattern for 2017. We had this bullish flag formation. We broke out of it. We've kind of retested it, and we continue finding support around the $2 zone. The MACDs are starting to curl towards 0. Stochastics are doing the same, and we're starting to curl on the weekly RSI towards 50. If that breaks to the upside, expect there to be a very nice run in this stock. Next on the list is AGEN. AGEN. We've got this bearish, bullish breakout from this bullish flag pattern. Broke it. We failed to follow through, and we had this shooting star pattern. Now we've retested it from the downside successfully, and now we're starting to build some strength. We're above the 50 on the weekly RSI. Looks like we broke above it. Now we're retesting it from the upside, and if that 50 does hold, then we expect it to. Why? Because MACDs are curling up above 0 again, and so we think that this is going to make a run towards 750. Some substantial upside here. Very nice risk reward entry above $4. Really, frankly, above the middle Bollinger Band around 387. That's a good entry, and with a stop loss right below that point. APRI Therapeutics, AKTX. Beautiful breakout of a 3-year downtrend is starting to take place here, and so there's some substantial upside here in the stock. We're long, and we're probably going to be adding on the position upon a break of $5. This could make a run towards $10, if not $20 a share, just on price pattern alone. Next on the list is ALQA, ADHD. Nice basing pattern over the last couple of years, or a little over a year here. We're starting to curl higher on the MACDs, looking to set, I would say, 52-week highs on the MACDs soon, right above that middle Bollinger Band. But notice that there is some very positive divergence on RSI. So whereas price is not yet at the level that we hit at 127, 133, RSI is already higher than those previous points. Looks like we're going to make a run towards 2 at a minimum, possibly as high as 4 for a gap fill. Next on the list is LIQU Biomedical, ALQA. This one is still in the downtrend, so depending on your time frame, if you're a longer term investor, swing trader, this is not yet a buy, but a shorter term chart would tell you that we've got some upside and probably make a run towards that 60 area in the coming weeks. If that were to happen, that's a very nice move. Why do we say that? Well, we've got this positive divergence where price hit a low at 23 versus 32 earlier, but RSI basically was flat, and now RSI is building a base above previous support here around the 40 area, and we think that this is going to make a run towards 50 and possibly break higher. Next on the list is AMRN Corp, AMRN. Had this very nice basing pattern after a nice move from 2016. So we based for about, let's say, a little over a year, finally broke higher, and now we retested this breakout zone, and we're finding support here on that 30 to 40 on the weekly RSI, and it looks like we're going to make a run towards that 50 again. And once that breaks, if it breaks, and expected to make a run toward 4 and ultimately break higher in the coming weeks and months ahead. Next on the list is AMPE Pharmaceuticals, AMPE. This one has been a bit of an enigma. We think that it's setting up for a nice move. We like this above 50. It broke lower. We were stopped out. Now it had some nice hammer pattern. Now it's consolidating above 50 again, right below the middle Bollinger Band. And we think that this is going to make a run towards $1. Why? MACDs are moving in a positive direction. RSI here is building a solid base above that 40 level where it found support and resistance prior, and it's frankly forming positive divergence where the price on RSI right now, or the level at RSI here, is basically the same level where when the price level was about 50% higher. So very nice divergence here on AMPE. Amplify Biosciences, APHB. Very nice basing pattern here. And yeah, this one is a bit of a risky play, but it is basing. It's now above the through time. It's now above that weekly Bollinger Band. MACDs have crossed zero, and so wouldn't be surprised to see a very sharp move higher towards that 312, 313 area in the coming weeks. Anthera Pharmaceuticals, ANTH. Nice breakout out of this downtrend. Now we're basing above that area, above that $1 zone, and now MACDs are at multi-year highs. It's still tough to say that this is going to be a strong move until RSI gets out of this extremely overbought zone. But wouldn't be surprised if this makes a move towards that 250 area and ultimately breaks higher and starts a new uptrend. Apricus Biosciences, APRI. Beautiful breakout from this downtrend. MACDs are firmly in the positive direction. Money flows going in the positive direction. Above 50 on the weekly RSI. Had a bit of a pullback. Would love to see even more pullback above this uptrend. And ultimately 250 is our first price target. Followed by 5 would be the next logical price point. Aptasi Biosciences, APTO. Beautiful chart action here. We've owned this for a while. We've sold it. Now we're starting to get back into this breakout, basing, and now it's built a base above the breakout, which is very positive. Looks like the MACDs are starting to curl higher. The accumulation is starting to pick up. The stochastics are starting to move, and it looks like we're about to break the 60 level on RSI. So $2 is definitely in the cards. Likely makes a run towards 3 at some point this year. Finally on this list is ARLZ Pharmaceuticals, ARLZ. Why we like this is it's building some very positive RSI divergence, because RSI here is much higher than RSI was here and here, which is what you want to see. When RSI leads price almost always follows. MACDs are now at multi-month highs. Money flow is now in a positive direction. Our first price target is 2, followed by 3, and likely makes a run towards 4 at some point within the next 12 months. Guys, this has been great. Thank you for following us on StockTwits and on Twitter at Moniology. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube. If you have some charts you'd like us to follow, feel free to send us a note. And otherwise, have yourself a great week, and thank you for your support.